So today we are back in action, taking another look at finishing up the Sudoku problem we started yesterday. Welcome back to another episode of Try Again Dev, where we try again until our code compiles, and we are predicated on the idea that we don't just start off knowing how to do stuff, we learn by doing. So with that, let's take a look at the problem again. So we started yesterday, gave ourselves a little idea of what we were gonna take a look at doing. Let's just try to make sure the chat isn't too far overlapping. But we looked at a function that would check for our numbers with the three indexes, let's say. The row index, the column index, and the square. So what I've done in the meantime is take a good break, also take a quick look at something that could help us out, because as we know, sometimes you need a little assistance. We don't always just know how to do stuff by looking at it. So the one solution I found for keeping track of the rows, columns, box is using different maps or arrays. So what I'm guessing is, based on the solution I was looking at, we would store the value and then be able to, let's see how to say this, check if the value already exists in said row, column, or box. Sorry, I'm just gonna type those words down because my brain keeps forgetting them. Row, column, box. These are the three things we're checking against. Okay, so let's start back up again. So let's see. What I first did here was create this box checker, essentially, based on position. So I'm just thinking through, we have the numbers 1 through 9. So what was I doing in terms of storing stuff? Because we want the value and we also want the box. So for example, if we had a row array, we'd want the value 1, and we'd want to make sure the value 1 was not already in the row array. So by using the map function, I'm just how did they do that? Okay, so thinking through it, and I'm rows or object or array kind of can be a little synonymous in this case, but I'll pick one very soon, surely. But I'm if we did, yeah, okay, so I'm kind of thinking of a 2D array situation, just like we have here, but maybe instead of all values with row, column, box, that was kind of tripping me up a little bit, because I was how are we gonna then do the iteration for checking? It would be a little messy. What I think that video I was watching was saying was something we'd do row, and then we'd have the values, and we'd check that this array doesn't include the same value twice. For example, this would be there's a 1 in rows 1, 2, and oh, there's a 1 again in this row, so we can't do that. And then we do similarly let column with this array or object with values. I'm just gonna copy and paste this for now. And then let box. Just gonna comment this out. And I know it's going over the side and getting interrupted by the chat. I'm going to retype this and probably pull in the window, but I'm just also gonna take out these demo values here. So like hopefully then we would just end up with a singular array, and this would be like in row, let's say 1, 5, and 7. For example, we have a 1, and in columns 1, 2, 3, and then in box 1, 2, 1, let's say. So like let's say this was 1, 2, 7 instead. So like if there's a 1 here, a 1 here, and then row 7 here, column 3, we would find that there are 2 1s in this first box, and when we figure that out, we would return false. Okay, so what I'm personally learning from this example is like the benefit of like kind of knowing what tools we have available to ourselves. Like I do have, as I've maybe mentioned in other videos before, like an arrays and methods lookup table for myself, because I was finding that I was spending a lot of time like literally looking things up, what my like methods were for different things, arrays, objects, etc. But yeah, like, because the first thing I did, honestly, when doing this problem was like look up to see, like, isn't there like a duplicates thing? And then I was like, I guess I could use a set, but that just didn't feel like the best option. So, because then, I mean, you have to check like set.length versus original array.length, and I was like, which array should I check against? So, yeah, like, I just want to talk a little bit to the values or benefits of like taking a break, getting some more information, regrouping sometimes. Really can't be understated in my opinion. So, okay. With that, we have a slightly different understanding of what we can do. So, okay. What I'm first gonna do in here is like set value to like board ij, because that's just an easier variable to work with. So let value equal board ij. Okay, and then if value equals just a dot, then we'll continue, aka bypass this for loop. Great. Okay. And then we'll put this in parentheses because we need to. Awesome. Okay, great. And I like to do guard statements instead of putting everything in if statements, or because I think it's easier to read as a developer. Then, because of what we said up there, we don't need this secondary statement, but we will need to initialize these 3 things here, these 3 maps or whatever have you, to have like the numbers we're looking for, aka 1 to 9, and the arrays with them, right? So, okay. So we can take this out. Great. All right. So we're essentially rewriting this from the top here today, which is great. I think we're on a better path. At least I like have an idea of where we're going today. So, all right. So value is a number. We've taken out the instances where value is not a number. Great. So we start at, so the first thing we're going to do is figure out which box the number is in, right? Because we want to set the row, column, and box. So we'll say here, let value box equal, and then this dot box of, okay, so we send an I and J here because it's the row and the column. Awesome. Okay. And then what are we looking for here? So at the end we return true, so we need to say, I'm just going to put in words first. We're going to do 2 things. We're going to check if value is in current row, column, box. Or I guess we're going to do a couple things. If not, add to row, column, box. And if so, return false. Okay, great. So let's do this thing now. So, because value is going to be the number, which means is the key. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna check all of it, right? So like if okay, row dot value dot includes I, which is the position we are in, or call dot excuse me, call dot value dot includes the J position that we're in, or box dot value dot includes the value box position that we're in, return false. Otherwise, we're going to add it to these three positions. And since this is an OR block, if any of them are true, the whole thing will be like to say you've encountered a conflict and will return false. And then in the else block here, or like if you bypass this, essentially this will run anyway, so sometimes you don't always have to put it like an if and an else, you could just do an if. And since this is a return statement, it'll end the function, but anyway, I'm just gonna put it out here. It's kind of easier syntax, but still. Yeah, it'd be row dot value dot push I, column or call, yeah, dot value dot push J, and oops, box dot value dot push K. And then just because I like to check what's going on, yeah, so we did these things that we said we would do. I'm just gonna move them so you can see. Awesome. And then I want to console log the value that we're looking at. I guess if it's, I'm gonna do value I, J, and value box because I think that's useful. And then here, console log that row array, column array, and box array. Okay, so let's run it, see if we encounter any errors or problems. Okay, so undefined, interesting. Honestly, I think it might be in array versus object issue here, which, oh yeah, well we need it to be objects for the keys and values, huh? I guess it is has or has own property. Okay, so what I'm gonna do just to take a look here is pause that for a second and take a look at these console logs that we're getting, because that's what I really want to see first. Interesting. Push is not working. Okay, well, hey, show me what the setup is, or the initialization. Board, awesome, okay. Oh, value box isn't working as a function. Okay, I can work at that. It's coming back as undefined, it looks like every single time. Great, okay. So what's going on with value box here? Console log, row and column. So gonna console log the fact that we're in the value box function. see what we're seeing now. And since we realize that this is like giving us something that's fine, like I do want to know if value box is giving us back undefined, but I am more curious. Okay, great. 0, 4. This is greater than 0. Oh, okay. And less than 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I guess the position is going to go from 0 to 8 instead of 1 to 9. Yeah, so I gotta adjust all these numbers. Okay, well, happens to the best of us, I think. I like to do space zeros to make sure I'm finding the right numbers. This is going to be -1. I'll go back into that return for shortly, because this is going to be a return for it, because it's the case for being returned, not the number. Yeah, -1 to 3, because it's 0, 1, 2. Then this is going to be 2. This is going to be 3, 4, 5, 6. -1 to 3. -1 to 3, 2 to 6, -1 to 3, 6 to 10. Okay, so this is going to need to be 5 to 8. Because it'd be 6, 7, 8, 9. Sorry, 5 to 9. Yeah, so bigger than 5, less than 9. -1 to 3, -1 to 3, 3 to 7. I think it's going to need to be 3 to 6. Column's bigger than 3. I think it's bigger than 2 to 6. 6. Great. 3 to 7 becomes 2 to 6. Oops. Wow, okay. 2 to 6. And then, as we said earlier, 6 to 10 becomes 5 to 9. And I'll just change that one down there. Cool, I think. So -1 to 3, -1 to 3, 2 bigger than 2 to 6, 3, 4, 5, -1 to 3, and then 6, 7, 8 between 5 and 9. Okay, let's try this. And like what I'm really looking for is just a value box solution. Fantastic, now we're getting that. So, okay, let's undo, if you will, this if block, and then check this out and see what's wrong now. Okay, includes not working. Okay, so let's console log this out, or cancel this out just long enough to see our functions we're getting back. Oh, okay. I think it's add for objects instead of push. Maybe not. Okay. Keys, get key. Huh. But these are arrays, so why wouldn't they be push? Yeah, because it's row has these values of any arrays. Dot value, so this would be like row 1, array dot push its number. Value 1, 0, 0, value box is 1, so then I'd expect to get I wonder if I could console log like row dot value. I'm gonna try that. I'm expecting an empty array, row dot value. Let's see what we get. Undefined. Okay. Let's see row again. Okay, that is as expected. I wonder if my syntax is weird, but these should be exactly the same. Okay, great. Let's do it this way. Let's see if that works. Oh, right, this is box value. Good sign. Making progress. Or is it value box? I think it's value box. Okay, good. Things are populating as we would hope. Awesome. Row, column, value. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Very good, very nice. Okay. And then, yeah, let's put our if block back in here. And then now we know that instead of this syntax, not sure if it's the program or what, but like, I'm just happy to do whatever it wants, honestly. Sometimes you gotta let the code lead you. Okay, let's see what's going on. Ooh, I wonder why we're saying true and they're expecting false. Interesting. Or no, we're saying false when they're expecting true. The other one, we're saying false and they're expecting false. Okay, something is tripping it regardless, so that's interesting. Okay, instead of console logging all the rows values boxes because we're running out of space in the thing, it's saying standout exceeded. So like if it returns false, then I want it to console log that row value box array and value. I'm gonna just put all the console logs in here because I want to know what's going on, truly. If it's returning false, I'm like, what, why, you know? And checking our work is not a bad thing. So, I mean, I've been advised that one thing I should work on is writing code and like being able to check it, like say on a whiteboard, for instance. But currently I write code in the kind of write and check type of way. So I guess we'll work on it. Okay. Here for the number 4, we're getting an undefined case back from, I'm guessing, the box function. So understandable. So the row 0 to 2, 0 to 2, then Sorry, I'm just gonna write this down real quick on a new sheet here. Oh, I don't really need to save that. I'll have the content if I need to. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. With these being our barricades, 0, 4 on this side, 3, 6, 7 essentially, because like less than, greater than, and then here on this edge we have 10. And then so this maps to the -1 of computer languages. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 is our upper bound here. 5 is our upper bound here. 6, like honestly, I think it's easier if I reverse these for clarity. So that it's kind of like what is our guard case on the inner and outer bits here. So here it's going to be 4, here 3, less than 7, greater than 6. Okay, so the bounds here are having that 2, having this 3, and then that -1. So -1, 3, 2, 6, 5, 9. Great, that is what I'm expecting. -1, 3, -1, 3, 2, 6, -1, 3, 5, 9. Okay. -1, 3, -1, 3, 2, 6. Gonna take another look at this soon. But 2, 6, 2, 6, 5, 9, 3, 7. Ah, here. It's this one. 2, 6. Or, yeah, probably. -1, 3, 5, 9. Yeah. 3, 7. It's supposed to be 2, 6. Oops. 2, 6. Wow, I just fully did not finish. That's okay. Let's try again. Okay. Row value includes undefined. Okay. Let's see if the other stuff works for a second here. Okay, wait 1 second. I'm just gonna make sure that includes the thing for arrays. Yes, okay, great. Right, and it returns true, false. Just wanting to make sure. Okay, so if that is true, this is gonna be false. Great. Yeah, because it's like if we go to this array or this value, if this array includes whatever. So that as syntax should be correct. If row at value, row array or object value key index. Okay. Okay, so instead of this, let's go back to the console log and see what it's finding that it's tripping with the push statements. And I'm just gonna not have a return statement for the moment, but oh, how interesting. Okay, friends, well, as we know, I do like to give myself breaks at certain intervals, so let's do that. Bring our brain back fresh in a little while. Be right back. Hey, back again with Try Again Dev, where we try again, and we take care of ourselves. We take breaks. Let's try again to solve this problem. So, okay, something is returning us back undefined, and I think row value is returning us back undefined. That's interesting. Okay, okay. I think what is happening is our counters are going from 0 to 8 and we're going from 1 to 9. So I'm gonna adjust that. Board.length is still gonna be 9 because it's an inclusive count or semi-inclusive count. It's like counting numbers. Board.length, it's gonna be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that should be good. And then this is going to go back to our first thing, which is 0, 4, 3, 7, 6, 10. So 0, 4, 4, 3, 7, 6, 10. 0, 4, 3, 7, 6, 10. 0, 4, 3, 7, 6, 10. Oops. Oh dear. 0, 4, 0, 4, 3, 7, 0, 4, 6, 10. So this must have been where we washed out just now. 6, 10. Okay, we have a 5 double and that'll become a 6. Okay, 0, 4, 3, 7, 6, 10, 0, 4, 0, 4, 3, 7, 3, 7, 6, 10, 0, 4, 0, 4. 7, 3, 7, 3, 7, 6 tens, 3, 7, 0, 4, 6 tens, 3, 7, 6 10, 6 10, 6 10. Okay, that should work now, hopefully. Huh, okay. So after the value box function, we're getting back an undefined array. So where are we console logging value box even? Oh no, that's in the value box function, okay. Sure. This is this one where we do row value. So let's console log row and see what's going on here, that we're getting undefined at sometimes. Okay, great. Do row ij value. Or we don't need row is fine. Oops. Okay, great. I'm just gonna also put value box in here. Make sure all of our values are numbers and not undefined at this time. Okay, great. So now I think we're at a place where we can start reopening some of the other logic. This is interesting. Row value box. These a row column box. Let me just do the other console log I had just to check, but like, because yeah, ij value box all come back good. Console log, row value. Just make sure that we're like looking at the array. Oh dear, okay, I had a typo here, jeez. Wow, one little key, undefined. How it'll make your day interesting, huh? Let's do, okay, so I'm gonna come back to this one, rerun it, make sure things are okay. Okay, great. We're not outputting anything, which is fine for now. If we hit the false, we want to see why. Okay, so it seems that there's a number 2 in the row 2, column 2, and value box 5. Okay, great. So let's see what's going on. So 2 here, 5, we're going to add a 6 to it. Okay, this one has a 4. Okay, box 5. This is saying yes, this is saying no. Let's map our board and see what's going on here. Honestly, it's like I could have done this a little earlier with the manual mapping thing. I guess some code places recommend like solving it as a human first. I see the value. Not gonna knock it. Alrighty, let's see what's happening here. Oops, that line was kind of horrendous. Okay. Pardon some of my lines here, folks. We're going for tried our best status. Alright, so like 1, 2, and then I did want to make the differentiation lines a bit clearer. Awesome, alrighty. Okay, so 1, 2, skip to 3, 4, 9, 8, skip to 5, 9, 8, 3 down here. Let's go 4, 5, 6, skip 8, 9, 7. I'm playing a little fast and loose here in the middle, but just because like that the items in the bottom right left corner aren't what the problem is anyway, so this is really just for me to visualize the board a bit better as a human instead of a robot or computer. See what's going wrong a little clearer. Or no, that's supposed to be 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, box 5 is the one in question, and I see why. There's not 2 2s in there. Or I guess there are not 2 2s in there, at least so far as I can currently tell. Alright, this is an approximation of the board as of right now. So let's see what's going on here. So in terms of row, we're saying there's a 2 in row 5, which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, correct. We're saying there's a 2 in column 4, which 1, 2, 3, 4, that is incorrect. So we gotta see what's going on with the eyes here. We'll come back to that. 8. I'm also noticing we're not going down to 9, so like, it's like, hold please, console log or length. Because I'm like concerned that we're going from 1 to 8. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. I just want to confirm that. Yeah, since we're saying less than board dot length, so we have to do less than board dot length plus 1 and board 0 dot length plus 1. And that is on going from human count to computer count and back. So I starts at 1, goes to 10. Great. Includes is reading undefined. Roll value dot includes. Okay, so what we're gonna do, turn things off again. Oops. Okay, cool. Just timer 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Counting down.
That's on. Sometimes we have other things to do. But as we know, I'm gonna try my best, my level best here to try to get to an answer if I can. And if not, I'll take a break and come back to it. At least I know I can do that now. Ooh. 1 is undefined. What is going on here? Okay, so what are we console logging? Board dot length. Okay, we no longer need this, thank you. Actually, I'm curious about board 0 dot length, which should also be 9, but just, you know, never be too sure. Great, okay. No longer need this console log. Thank you for your service. Alrighty, so 1135, 197, an undefined box value. So, if we are coming through with a 9 and a 7 here, the row, column 9, or wait, row 9, column 7, 1 3 1 5 1. I'm doing row column box. Row column value box. Oh, I'm putting value last. Okay, that's interesting. I'm not gonna do that. I don't like it. Sorry. I'm just not looking at it this way. I'm expecting to see value, row column, value box, which I do have here and I don't have here. That's gotta be part of the problem. Okay, show me the money, please. Great. Alrighty, so yeah, value. How are we getting an undefined value? Okay, what's really funny is it won't let me define a type, but if I hover over it, it totally gives me a type, which is hilarious. But okay. So, yeah, anyway, if the value is a period, we shouldn't even be getting to that point of the function because continue for loop JavaScript is supposed to give us the next iteration of the loop. Yeah. So that's interesting. And I think we should be, or let's do continue, because that is what we want to see. And I'm like, I guess we're not getting into here. And you can, oh, 5. What? Oh, geez. Okay, because it's starting to count from here. And it's value 5. So this is 0, 0, this is 0, 1, this should be 0, 2. And position even 1, 2, or oh, I guess, well, 1, yeah, because it'd be 3. Okay, so so what have we learned? We've learned that this function is generally working, and this numbering I think is going to need to go back to the computer numbering. That said, undefined at position 1, 9, aka 2, 10. Okay, yeah, because it's overrunning. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go back to computer numbering just so that everything is a little more consistent. Sorry, we've kind of gone back and forth no less than 3 times now, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, I suppose. So yeah, it'll be 0 to board length. And I'm just doing undo mainly because I don't really want to redo this table. I'm just going through until that gets done. And then I think, honestly, I'm going to go back and put all the other code back because it was just fine in terms of the console logs in my opinion. So I'm going to redo everything and then just put this code back here, or this block. And then undo this here. Okay. I wonder if changing both is still gonna lead to the same undefined situations. Okay, I'm not seeing anything with undefined anymore, which is good. I am seeing that this does filter out the dots, so I no longer need that console log. Okay, we now have boxes and values. Oh, I never commented these back in. That's okay. Okay, very good, very nice. And this is working. We no longer need this console log. Okay, very good, very nice. And lastly, okay, thank God. All right, and don't worry, I'm gonna do a step through of the final code. Awesome, alrighty, fantastic. So let's see what our solution ended up being like. So first of all, I'm gonna start down here. We have a function, to be very generous, that, and this is kind of the verbose mode of writing this out as well. Like, we can also write it concisely like this. One thing I did learn is if your function only has like one line essentially with the if and else, you can do it kind of like a one-line thing like this. Oh, no. -1, 3. Okay, well, box 7 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, aka rows -1 to 3. Columns 6 to 9 or 5 to 9. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'm just bringing this up so it's one line and complete, as it turns out. Oops. But it's essentially like a checker function to figure out which box we're in. So we return ourselves a number 1 to 9 just with the box. So now that we know that that's what we're doing, I'm gonna just clean these console logs up a bit so we can review our functions here. So what we did is we needed to check if the valid Sudoku character or value was included in every different row, column, or box. So we set up a row, column, and box dictionary, essentially, or lookup table, where we have an object for each row, column, box, and like inside of that object, these would be their values, and then we're setting up an array of like the previously seen rows, column, or boxes for that value. So if there's a value if there's a 1 in position 1, 1, 1, aka the top left corner of this box, all 3 of these are going to get a 1, oops, because that's like relating to the position. That would be 1, for example. Okay. So we have these set up here. So what we're saying then is from 0 to board.length, or like just before board.length, aka computers count from 0. So when we look at the console of the test case here, well, right now it's all in one line, but I'm not sure, maybe running it? Yeah. So I'm just gonna squeeze this in a little more so that it goes back to how we were looking at it earlier. But when this computer is counting arrays, it counts the first array here as array 0, then 1 through 8. So that's why this is counting from 0 to 8, even though numerically we're looking for the values 1 to 9. So that's why here in this for loop we count from 0 to 8, and in this box where we're doing a value table lookup, we're going from 1 to 9. Okay, that said, yeah, so the first thing we do is set a value to be the current position we're looking at, so we can look at a variable instead of this lookup situation, which is kind of human, less readable. Then if the value is a period, we just continue, aka skip this for loop, or the for loops for this value. Awesome. So we know that value is a number. We send it through value box, which is the function that we looked at earlier to give ourselves a box number position. And then if the row at value, or like the lookup table array essentially, includes the X position, the Y position, or the box we're in, then, I mean, I had some console logs here, but we're going to return false because, hey, if the thing already has what we're looking for, like if there's already a 1 in the first column and we're going to put another 1 in the first column, we found a conflict. There's going to be 2 1s in the first column, we can immediately return false. If we don't return false, then we need to store the information so we can find it later, and that's why we set up or push in the row, column, and value box value, aka I, J, and value box are like the numbers that we position orient, and then row value, column value, box value is going to like these arrays and to the value, and then it's like in this key in the value push or add the item we're at, like the position. And if we got through the whole of the grid and we have not returned false, then we return true, because it means each number in each place is unique. So that is a very extensive explanation or solution or finding out of the valid Sudoku problem. If you're watching, thank you for watching Try Again Dev, where we know that learning is something we do by doing, and that we're not always right on our first try. And when that happens, we try again. Hope to see you next time or very soon.